Hey everybody, how's it going? If I could really quickly get a 5x5, we're just going to go straight into this. This is probably one of those quite rare random live streams that I've done. It's something I feel I need to do. Interesting, Time Lord. It's pretty on point with what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you. So we got a 5x5. That's happy days. Right. It's so random. I've not even had breakfast yet. Look, it's sat there. So yeah, I need to get this done. Something's telling me, and I'm just going to go with it. It's starting. It actually is. I've got so much random notes here. I'm going to try. I'm going to start off with this one. This is what I originally intended to end with, but I'm flipping it because I feel I need to. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. Some of you will be thinking, what the hell are you doing? What's the point of this? Just bear with me. Give yourself some time and listen to what I'm going to be talking about. And I want you guys to interact as well, because this is going to literally separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay, we've got aware people, we've got people who just love watching Sky Sports, doing a 9-to-5 job and don't question anything. So, and we've got everything in between. So I'm going to refer to a term that my friend uses, and my friend is called Jason, is in Texas. Many of you will probably know he's got a YouTube channel called Archaics, and we're going to lead into some of the things which he talks about and why I believe now is the time. Hence, it's starting now. That's why I put a time hourglass on his video, okay? A benefactor. Now, when I've done a few live streams and recordings with Jason in the past, some of you guys will remember probably, he used the term benefactor. And he actually just stopped me talking and he just mentioned this. And it's really, really interesting when you actually think about it. Now, when I spoke to my partner about this sort of thing, when I said benefactor, first thing that come to mind is a beneficiary. So we're talking financial. I don't believe that this is the term that Jason was actually thinking about, but using the word nonetheless. So benefactor, I'm thinking that this is someone who is got your back. Okay, someone's looking out for you. Now, you can literally interpret this in millions of different ways. You could go religious and you can say God, you can say Jesus, you can say Allah, or whatever it is that you decide to feel you need to be a part of. Okay, many of us are known as errants, so we are singular beings and we are literally not signing up to any theology or anything. We are just singular. Okay, we're not part of any club or any religion. We are just us. And I'm understanding not everyone is this way, and it's entirely up to you what you want to believe. Okay, personally, I don't want to be part of any group. I don't want to be part of anything. I'm just me, learning, evolving, experiencing, and helping. That's it. I'm not part of any frigging club, because I've learned to be wise enough to realize that if you decide to be part of a club, you're part of someone else's idea. We want us to have our own ideas. We want us to do our thing rather than this book says this, so I have to do this. I want to do what I want to do. I don't need a book to tell me what's right and wrong. I already know that. I feel that. So benefactor, someone's got your back. An angel, a spirit guide, or whatever it is. Either way, someone's got your back or something's got your back. Now, it's very strange. I was talking about this before earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the chat because it's distracting me. So apologies if any of you guys are donating even super chats. I just won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to roll with this. Hence, this is quite a weird live stream for me. I just feel I need to. It's the time. So 612 people. Wow, that's pretty good for 4 minutes without any notice. Appreciate that. So previous lives, okay? So when we have like deja vu, and lots of us have had deja vu, and this is important to use the term when you feel that this experience has happened before. You absolutely have that overwhelming sense that this is so familiar. I swear I've done this before. That's called deja vu. Many of you know what I'm talking about. Some people might not have a clue, or they haven't had that happen to them yet. Now, it's very, very interesting. when you talk about previous lives, okay? And I know it sounds weird, but I'm just asking you to bear with me. You don't have to stay. You can go if you want. It's cool. But many of you I know are interested, because this is the sort of stuff which you don't hear on the mainstream, and it is bucking the trend. But like I say, now feels like it's the time. Lots of people are having this sort of thing. So a deja vu, a glitch in the Matrix. Remember that film, The Matrix, when he sees the black cat and sees it again, and you feel it's happened before? Well, maybe it's to do with past lives. Okay, now I believe that we are born in this simulation, or this existence, and we live, and we got the opportunity to learn, evolve, experience, and help. And whether we choose to take part in any or all four of those things, it's up to us. Now, I believe most of us have been doing this stuff in this simulation for eons. So we're not really learning. But the main difference is, at this moment in time, is we have the internet. We are able to interact and communicate with lots of other people. We didn't have this 20 years ago. Okay. Now, I believe that because we now have access to information which has for thousands of years literally been hidden from us, now we are being drawn without even realizing it. We're just waking up when we need to wake up. Now, you shouldn't try and attempt to wake someone up, because it's like you're forcing your opinions and your beliefs onto someone else. You just have to let them naturally wake up. And if they don't, they don't. And I know it's hard, because lots of us have empathy, because we're not psychopaths, and we want to help. We want our friends and family and strangers to wake up to what's going on. 2020 absolutely press that fire button. If you go back in history, like the 1920s to 1820s, the amount of crazy things which happened during those every 100-year cycle. This is why it's really interesting when I listen and I talk privately to Jason of Archaics. Everything is circular. Everything happens in cycles. Okay, so bear with me on that. Sounds crazy. It's very random. So now we have the internet. Now I feel that lots of us are waking up. We are connecting. We are evolving. When I say evolving, we are literally going way past. Oh, sorry, it's just going blurry. I don't know why. You're going to focus? You crazy dark. I should have put the other light on. Right. Okay. Anyway, it's what it is. Yes, we have the internet and we are connected now. It's a lot easier to share this information and talk about it. And like I say, people are waking up. Now, when you look at all of these things, we are heading into a point now where AI, artificial intelligence, literally threatens to destroy everything. But if you think that's far-fetched and crazy, I want you to really sit down when you're on your own and think about how crazy it would be if we give power and energy to AI systems to literally just have a free reign and run amok. Don't forget, there's a clue in the title: artificial intelligence. It's not natural, conscious, biological, soul conscience. It's artificial, hence it's not real. Okay, it's their version based upon how we think and interact. That's why when we type into Google stuff, it's collating all of its data and it's feeding it and it's educating this thing. So we could literally fill the internet full of bullshit, which is what most of us are doing anyway, unbeknownst. And it's growing this baby AI system into whatever it is that we put out there. So of course, this is an artificial, Frankenstein created lunacy which threatens to take over. We've even been getting clues from Hollywood. Look at the film The Matrix. AI, we don't know who struck first, but we had to scorch the skies because they needed the abundant energy to recharge their computers and their systems to keep working and keep moving, etc. So without the sun, make the skies dark, they're going to die out. We might be able to handle it, make the skies go away again. Who knows? But that's just putting it out there. So AI is a genuine threat. Now, I believe personally that we have already had at least 4 civilizations where mankind has got to a point where it is on the brink of destroying not just people and biological life, but actually putting the planet out of its natural cycle for potentially thousands of years, because we don't really understand much. In fact, you are going to be a very wise person if you admit to yourself you don't know anything. Because the more that we learn and understand, the more questions we need, and it's endless. And it's going to continue to do that until the day we breathe our last breath. There's no other way. It is what it is. That's what I believe. You can believe whatever you want. But I believe that we are at a point now, we are not far away from this civilization just falling away like other civilizations have had in the past, where they've just been wiped out. But here's the thing, not everyone gets wiped out, because think about it. If civilizations got wiped out entirely, you and me wouldn't be here. So there's always been survivors every time there's been a global catastrophic event. It always has. And how many times, if you remember reading or seeing stories that there's been an earthquake and someone's been buried under rubble for 10 days and they survived? It goes back to what we said before, benefactor. Someone's got your back. Now, you can call that benefactor whatever you want. You're free to do so. And I don't want people arguing about what they want to call it. You call it whatever you want to do, but please don't tell anyone else to call it what you want, okay? We're all free to understand and to call things whatever we want. We don't want someone ramming stuff down our throat. You should believe this, you should believe that. No, everyone on this planet is individual, and we should be free to believe whatever we want. We shouldn't force our opinions onto anyone else. That's my belief. But you're free to believe whatever you want, of course. And I understand X, Y, and Z also, right? So when we look at what Jason was saying, 2040, the 16th of May, that's how crazy the amount of research has gone into that date, okay? So we're looking at 138. I had a dream the other night of 138, just kept popping into my head. When I woke up, I'm thinking, what the hell? And I wasn't even doing or taking part in anything archaics for at least a week. But that number was popping into my head. These 138 year cycles, like, I can't explain it as easy as Jason probably could. So basically, every 138 years from certain dates, they go and go and go, okay? And it's groups of those 138 year cycles which will periodically put an almost extinction level event to the day. You think it's crazy? You want to check archaics that you won't believe the stuff that's come out of this. Basically, Jason spent over between 20 and 30 years dedicating his whole life into researching events, cycles, dates, everything else. It's absolutely crazy. So it's almost like those who make it, those who survive these big crazy events where lots of people get wiped out. I think Jason said 2040, the 16th of May, he reckons, I think it's probably a third of the global population will be gone. So who those third will be, I'm only theorizing and guessing off the top of my head. It's going to be a collection of people who just have had so many opportunities to wake up and become aware of what's going on, and they just won't. They just keep getting stuck. They've had all the opportunities like me and everyone else, but they're not getting it. There's going to be an element of those people, and there's going to be an element of the truly evil, twisted bastards who have risen to positions of power, who are genuinely evil people, okay? People without conscience, without empathy. How many people have risen to positions in power who are genuinely evil? We're talking someone who could literally drive their car over a newborn baby and it wouldn't even bother them. We're talking serious people with serious issues. How many of those are seemingly in control? I would like to guess a hell of a lot. The overwhelming majority of the highest positions of power globally are people like that. They're not like us, okay? So I believe there's going to be a large group of those people involved with the people who've been given so many opportunities to wake up, to question things that doesn't feel right, but they just don't. And they're just going to have to be wiped. That's how it seems to have happened in the past. Like I say, history does repeat itself. It absolutely does. And when you look into the work Jason's doing with chronology and going back in certain dates, certain times, certain expanses of time, and things repeat, and it absolutely gives you the green light to predict things. And 9 times out of 10, they're true. It's crazy how these things repeat themselves. It's bonkers. And I think he even said the same time as me last year, the year before, that we're going to have a king. And obviously we did. And he's not going to be around for long. And I predict he's not going to be around this year. Sometime this year, we won't have a king, whether he dies, whether he steps down, or whether he's forced out. One of those three things will happen, I believe, to the king this year, based upon looking through dates in history and times and the distances between certain events. They absolutely do have a cyclical thing for true. And like I say, it's starting because people are looking into this stuff. Why? Like I said, we've got the internet now. There's no excuse to evolve anymore. And when I say evolve, I'm saying be mindful of the time that we create to give to ourselves to do whatever we feel we need to do. Rather than spend it watching Coronation Street or wondering what Tottenham Hotspur is doing in the league tables. All of that stuff is sideshow. It's all completely irrelevant. And I'm completely aware that there's people out there who literally just live within that construct, compartmentalized mindset, and is us, the black sheep, as it were, who question things. Absolutely, for sure. Okay. So I'm going to show you a slide now. I know many of you have probably seen this before. This was from 1888, the firmament. Okay. So I want you to really look at this picture. Okay. So you have got a line, or almost like an arc, the darkest shade in the middle. Okay, so that pretty much represents the sheath which has been placed around the earth. I believe no one's ever been into space. Okay, we're literally stuck here, and they're trying everything using technology to break through that sheath which has been placed around the earth. Okay, so basically we're trapped here, but only those who feel that they have learnt enough and they've evolved enough to the point where they are not taking part in the bullshit. Hence, we are errants now. And when our time comes, instead of being born again and starting all over again because we are not learning and we're stuck in the same holographic construct, you absolutely go to the outside onto the next level. Now, I want you to look at the dark shape where he's got a hand sticking through. Now, this is representing, in my belief, a guy who has evolved, is dying, and is absolutely going on to the next level because he's evolved enough where he doesn't have to keep repeating the same experience, the same existence in the first simulation, the first construct. He's going out and going on to the next level. His awareness, his consciousness has expanded so much. He is literally given free passage to go to the next simulation, and we can only theorize of what that experience is going to be. This was done in 1888, a hell of a long time ago. Okay, and there's one of many. There is lots of depictions like this trying to talk about or show visibly what our life experience actually is. Okay, so with that in mind, the way I see it, the way I try to explain it, which I only come up with this morning, is think about it that you're inside an eggshell. Okay, and there is the inside of the eggshell, and that is, if you was to think to yourself, that's the sky, and it's clouds that are moving along, the sun comes and goes, some of it gets moist and we get rain, etc. It's all projected on the inside of that eggshell, and we're looking up at it, and we are going to constantly stay inside that eggshell all the time. We are not learning, we are not evolving. So I believe because we've had the internet, and we can learn a lot more than we would be if we wanted to go to a library and hope that someone's written about this stuff to try and make us think differently outside the box. Like I'm saying, it's starting now, because the internet has been around for just the right amount of time to give everyone the opportunity to learn and to evolve and to think outside the system, become an errant. If you don't know what errant means, look it up. It's literally someone who doesn't take part in anything. You're not part of any religion. You're not part of any sort of pigeonhole that they try to put you in. Don't forget, the more division there is, the easier it is to be controlled. If you allow yourself not to be put into any frigging pigeonhole, you can't be controlled. And when you reach that level of understanding, guess what happens? You start to lose fear. You're not scared anymore, because when you start to realize that once you've got to this level of thinking and realize that, yes, all of this is a simulation. Again, The Matrix was such a groundbreaking film. You know, the five senses, what you can see, what you can taste, what you can touch, what you can smell, etc. Okay, they're all signals interpreted by your brain. So when you think that all of your memories, all of your thoughts are held inside there, I believe that's bullshit. That's what we are told. So if you have a motorbike accident, if a brain injury, you've lost your memory, it must be something to do with an ear. No, I believe that this device is a receive and sending antenna. So all of our memories, etc., aren't in there, they're up there, somewhere pretty close, I would guess. So if you damage any part of this, all it means is you can't access your memories, which are stored out there in the cloud, because the clues are coming out everywhere. When they say the cloud, it's obviously what we think of, oh, it's just a cloud up in here. Well, that's where all of our thoughts and memories are. They're not stored in there. So if you damage this, you can't access the information because it's broken. This device is broken. This is an antenna. And if you think that's crazy, well, what happens when you got impulses coming from the sky, i.e. lightning? Okay, it absolutely grounds. We are electrical beings. Okay, yes, we are biological. We got liquid, we got blood, but we got electric in us. If you don't believe me, walk on an island surface and touch something metal and you get static discharge. We are absolutely electric. Okay, so this is just an electronic device which connects us to all of our memories, all of our thoughts, etc. Okay, so think of it like an energetic field that we've got around us, a great big ball, say 2 meters, a great big circle all the way around us, and we're in that energetic field. When you start losing that fear, like I touched on earlier, and Jason said this, and to a point I agree, you could literally walk into a room or a pub or a shop, and without you even realizing, you are giving off so much energy just because you can't see it, it's there. And when you become aware, when you evolve to these levels, and when you lose the fear, people notice. You go into a room and people look at you. They pick up on energy. They can't understand it when they think, who the hell is this guy? It doesn't matter whether you're attractive or not. It's the energy. You put it out there and they can't help but lock onto the energy and thinking, why is that guy different? And they don't understand it, but they feel it in some subconscious way that, my God, that guy is so awake. He is absolutely fearless. He doesn't give a shit. He is not scared. Most people are scared. We're living in fear. You don't need to. That's what I'm saying. Once you've reached this level of how it all works and you understand more, what's to be scared of? It's just a simulation. We've got really important soul energy right in there, and it's our job to protect it. Now, this in there is under attack 24/7. Absolutely it is, from so many things. What about people who get diagnosed with cancer? My take is when you ingest foods, drinks, whether you're washing shower stuff on you or you're dyeing your hair, not me, obviously, but when you think about all of those chemicals entering into your body, now, obviously, chemicals react to other chemicals or other drugs, okay? So say that you get ill and you go to the doctors, they refer you to hospital, you're getting put on this medication. 9 times out of 10, you get a side effect by design. You've only got to think of how many people have got sick since the pharmaceutical industry was started in the early 1900s. Fact. And it's all by design. They get a very, very small piece of genuine plant healing matter, and they synthesize it so much so that you are going to get side effects. Why? Because it's business. It's just business. They don't care about you. Hence, I said earlier on about people who evolve to high positions of power, they've got no empathy. All they want is money, wealth, and to feel that they want to make this simulation experience so elaborately awesome for themselves at the expense of all of us. It's pretty much how I see it. Okay. So, yes. And of course, you're going to take a medication. You're going to get a side effect. They're going to give you another tablet. and you're going to get another side effect. So all of these combinations of chemical reactions that are going on in your body, all it takes is the right formula, the right amount, and then boom, that will start a cancer. Now, the cancer will absolutely grow and thrive when fear sets in. So you start to feel bad, you start to look bad. You go to the doctors, you get a blood test, it comes back, oh my God, I'm really sorry, you've got cancer. And what that's going to do is that it's absolutely going to firmly press the fear button. So not only have you got all these chemical reactions going on in your body, you've now got fear, which is running amok inside you. You don't understand it, you can't control it, you don't know what to do. It gets worse and worse and worse. The cancer grows because it's thriving in that fear-based toxic chemical reaction environment, that it takes over and it takes you out. Simple as that. That's how I see it. So it's like I say, we're in this energy field, okay? And when I say about the benefactor, which Jason calls it, someone's got your back. So when you reach these levels and you lose the fear, you're basically been earmarked out for survival. Right. This is an individual who's evolved. He's had many, many, many life experiences before and past lives. He's got to the point now where he's evolved enough so he can go to the next level of this construct. We're not going to be in there anymore. That is it. So once you've been earmarked for that, all of these random things, you could be involved in like a multiple pile-up car accident where 10 people die. You're going to be the one to walk away from it unscathed. It's how the simulation works. Those who evolved are protected. And I believe that also works with your energetic field, i.e. whatever you think, whatever you talk about, if you're doing it on a regular basis and you're putting lots of energy into those thoughts and what you're talking about, physically putting words out there, if you're talking about certain people enough, they're going to be pulled into your field, providing they start to question and start to evolve themselves. Hence, we are here to help and educate others. Okay, so you know, Joe Public would be reaching this sort of level of awareness, and they start thinking and talking about their sister, thinking about their sister, talking about their sister. And when that sister starts taking things on board, you start to inspire or encourage them to think in a certain way, like what I've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. They're going to start waking up. Like I say, it's starting. This, what I'm talking about, is starting now. If you go back to last year, how many people have reached the point which started, I believe, during COVID? So in 2020, that was literally when this program started. Jason of RKX believes it was the first seal being broken from the book of Revelation in 2020. That's when it started. So between 2020 and now 2024, people, couples, work colleagues, friends, family have been split. Okay, so you're a person in 2020, one of them's pagan and the other one's pagan. For example, this is just hypothetically speaking. Okay, so you've got two pagans in a relationship. 2020 happens, a big fear thing happens. Okay, so one person is evolving and growing, and the other person has just started to. So they're really like new into all this. They haven't had time to grow their armor and evolve. 2020 happens, they get scared. What's the first thing the pagan guy does? He runs to a religion because he feels that he's going to be saved or protected, or he's going to get comfort knowing that someone's got their back, like a benefactor. Like I said, the benefactor covers multiple things. So we're just using this just as an example off the top of my head. Okay, so one goes to Christianity and the other one stays pagan. It's only a matter of time that those people part company, because there is no way that you can have someone who's really aware, growing and evolving, and someone who chooses to, no, I can't handle this no more. I can't do it. I need help. I need someone to look after me. So they go to a religion or something like that, for example, and they try to sort of not believe that all of this is happening, but it is. Shit is happening, bro. This stuff is really going down. All of that in 2020 actually happened, and it split everything. So we're reaching a point now where people are morphing into those positions for them to start from. Hence what I've called this, it's starting. Okay, this is starting right now. And I believe I've seen this with my own eyes. Last year, couples who broke up because of the stress of, I believe that this is good and wearing all this is good, and the other couple, part of the couple, is saying no, it's bullshit, and they have parted company. If not, it's only a matter of time, and that depends on fear, how scared you are of being on your own or whatever it is, but it will come. It's a natural process. It's by design. Two couples, they part, and all the rest of it. We all know. I mean, I've not looked at the chat at all. There's probably people in the chat now saying their best friend they don't talk to anymore. It happened to me. I had a best friend I've known for years. Don't talk to them anymore because they are pro-agenda, and I can't spend any time or any energy supporting that friendship anymore. We fundamentally disagree on every single aspect of how the world or this simulation is moving towards now. Hence the AI fear. Okay, so like I'm saying, all of these things are happening, but another thing which is happening, which is bizarre, is couples are forming of like-mindedness. Okay, even if you go to the extremes of same sex, it's happening. You got boy, girl forming together, boy and boy, girl and girl. It's happening. People are forming partnerships now of like-minded people. There is a term being banded around the internet. I think it's called sacred union, or call it whatever you want, but I think that's what some people are calling it. So yeah, people are finding their ideal soul mates and they are joining. And like I said, when you got that energy, when you become aware and you're giving off, you can't see it, but it's there. You walk into a room, people go, wow, who the frig is this guy? Or who is she? Something about her or something about him. I just can't stop, thinking about or focusing on. You just can't help it. It happens. So when you get two people of this level of evolvation, if that's the term, and they lock together, think about it like opposites. So even the construct of the zodiac, okay, it's all bullshit, but just use it for now as a blueprint that we can work with. Okay, think about, you've heard the term opposites attract. So you go around that wheel of the zodiac and you got star signs. Okay, and it's usually whatever opposites are, they're the ones that form good partnerships. Okay, that's fact. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you deny it or not, that's fact. And when you think about those opposites of the zodiac, think about it as two opposite ends of a magnet, positive and negative. When you've got the opposites and the opposites attract, they do that. And when they do that, that collision happens and it's unbreakable. You cannot pull them energetic things apart. It's stuck there. It's forming its own energy. Now, that energy that you had on your own was crazy enough. When you get two joining together, that energy is so freaking powerful, you wouldn't believe it. That makes that couple literally capable of doing anything. Nothing will stop that couple doing whatever they want to do. And it goes into other things. Let me have a look if I can find it. So yeah, so you've got that, and it's very important when you've created your own energy field and when you've met the ideal person. It's usually by chance. You won't know it. It will just happen. Don't go looking for it. Don't go looking for, is it Tinder and all of these dating things? Don't do that. Just leave it. Let it go natural. Keep doing your path. Keep evolving. Keep growing. And at some point, you are going to meet that right person. When it happens, it'll blow your mind. You won't stop talking. So many things in common. There's so many like-minded similarities. It's crazy, but it's true. This shit is happening everywhere, and it's been at least a year from what I've known. And just because this is my experience, it's impossible for me to tell you what it's actually like. This could have been going on for centuries. I don't know. It's happening, and like I say, the title of this video, this is starting. All of this is happening. So you've got your energetic field. Think about it just for yourself. Okay. So what you say and what you think happens. It's crazy. I'm not joking you. So if you say things like, I'm never going to get a job that is well paid and it's a fulfilling job, well, it's never going to happen to me. Well, guess what? As soon as you think that, it's not going to happen. As soon as you say it out loud, it's definitely not going to happen. So you could look around and you can get triggered on social media saying, I wish I could have a Lamborghini. I wish I could have that little house in the woods. I'm never going to get that. Well, by saying that or thinking it, you are telling the simulation electronic construct that that's what you desire, that's what you want. And the construct goes, okay, you said it's never going to happen. All right, I'm going to make it. It's never going to happen for you. And guess what? These people get frustrated because things never seem to happen for them. Why? Because they're freaking putting it out there. I'm trying to make you understand that you are way more powerful than you've been taught. You've got no idea how freaking awesome you are. And the only reason you are not thinking this way is because you've been controlled since birth and you don't even know it. Hence, it's starting. This is happening now. More and more people are reaching this point. They are using the internet to help steer them and educate them rather than entertain them and keep them trapped into a bullshit little box where they're told what to do, what to think, and what to believe. People are becoming errants. They're being on their own and they're doing their thing. And they are growing. They're evolving like crazy. We all are. Lots of us in the chat right now know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're an errant, stick it in big letters all over the place. People can see who you are. So people watch this in a replay, they go, wow. Yeah, there's more of us than you realize. This isn't a prepping community. This is an aware prepping community. We are special as hell. Not many preppers are talking about this. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared. They're absolutely scared to go from prepping into conspiracy theory. It's not conspiracy. This shit's happening. If you choose not to believe it, you think it's poppycock, and that's fine. You go away and believe whatever you want to believe. Take the blue pill, if you remember that film. Okay, so what you say, what you think happens. Okay, I wish I could be more confident. I wish I could. Well, wish away. Guess what happens when you wish for things? Jack shit happens. What about being mind controlled from birth? So when it's your birthday and you blow a candle and you make a wish and you shut your eyes and you concentrate making that wish. Yeah, we've all done it. That is a ritual. And what you are doing is whatever you wish for, whatever you want to happen, fundamentally does not happen because you've preceded that statement with the word wish. And wish is basically saying you wish it will, i.e. it's make-believe, it's not going to happen. All of these things, you are doing spell work on yourself and to others without realizing it. Why? Because they don't teach you this at school. Why? Because they don't want a well-educated, highly individualized soul which is growing and evolving. They don't want that. They want the opposite, which is why the education system is set up the way it is. People like me and like you and like others are breaking free from this construct bullshit. We are thinking, we are feeling, we are creating, we are evolving, we are using intuition, we are guiding ourselves and we are being guided. It's crazy. And, you know, I'm never going to find the right partner. So when you say that, when you think that, you're not. Of course you're not. Like I say, you've got no idea how powerful you are. And you're playing with words which you've just got no idea what you're doing. It's crazy. What about manifest what you need, what you feel, what you think, or what you want, what you need? Two different things. I'll let you debate those two. So what you have to do is you have to take the steps to do what you want to do. You can't do it all in one go. You have to do it gradually. You have to focus on doing that. And you just have to get it done. Think about my friend Jason. He spent 20 to 30 years in prison reading about all of this stuff I talked about earlier, about the firmament, about chronology, about dates in the past, which absolutely do get repeated. And we have got opportunities to learn and evolve and get onto the next level, the next stage of this simulation experience. Okay, it's absolutely so. He's done it. Look at him now. So a guy who walked out of prison with $30 in his pocket. Now look at him. He has got an army of people helping him get out there this information, which I'm talking about, what Jason's talking about, what other YouTube channels are talking about. It's crazy. It really is crazy, but it's happening. And think about me. A few years ago, I was living on a really rough council estate in a crappy job, which I was absolutely being bullied and pushed around. I hated it. They wanted me to do all these extra jobs without any extra pay. It was getting me down. It was draining my energy. It was literally just emptying me of this energy which has been trapped in there, that's dying to get out and evolve. So I had to make the decision to just walk away from that job after 15 years. I could have stayed there for another 15 years. I could have progressed to being probably director of that massive company. Didn't want it. It's bullshit. It was so much rules, regulations, constructs, wear a mask, sit behind a plastic screen, shut up, do as you're told. You've got to do all of these tests. We've got to put you in all of these courses. We're not going to pay no more money. Corporocracy. It's bullshit. I left. I broke free. And when I tell you something, when I walked out of that door of that job, I would have presumed I would have gone, you twat. It's early 2021. There's no jobs out there. Money is tight everywhere. What have you just done, you idiot? No, guess what? The absolute truth is I walked out that door and I went, wow. I smiled and I said to myself, I can do anything now. So that was stopping me in my existence back down south on a rough council estate with that mind control job. And I had a split-second vision of this house on a hillside somewhere. A split second. And it was, wow, what was that? And I remember posting it on another Instagram account somewhere. And it turned out about a year from, no, not even a year, it's less than that. It was, let me see, February, I left that job. And I moved to another country in October. So 8 months or whatever it was. So in that 8 months of seeing that split-second vision, I done every single thing I could subconsciously and consciously to leave that whole environment. And now I live in that house, which I imagined, which I put out into the field, and I got here. When you look at stories like people like myself who have like struggled in council estates, no money, and it's hard, like everyone else mostly, and then they make it out to the countryside where you think only wealthy people can live there. I'm the poorest person for miles. I shouldn't by default be living like this amongst great big houses which cost millions. But no, I did it. Why? Because I put the intent out there and I focused and I done everything I frigging could to get there. I sold everything. I gave so much stuff away to help so many people. Things just fell into place and I just focused on that. I wasn't sidetracked by EastEnders, Constipation Street, Sky Sports bullshit. I just focused. Friends, sorry, you had to sort of be dimmed down. And I focused and I was driven and I'd done it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. It's almost like it's part of that evolve walk, that experience, that journey, if you want to use that. It's true. And then another thing which is happening there, like it's starting, and the reason I say it's starting is purely because of the amount of emails. If you want to email me, the email address is under this video. It's even on the bottom of the screen, along with donation things. That really helps. But what I'm saying is people are questioning things. Why? Because they're telling me. Thanks to encouraging me, inspiring me, I've now started questioning things. You won't believe the differences in my life now. I am not joking. So I've always said, if it feels wrong, if you can feel it in there, if it feels wrong, you get the intuitive thought, that gut feeling, something's not right about this. Question it, do something. Don't just ignore that little thought inside. Don't ignore it. My advice would be go for it. Follow that wherever it takes you. I followed that feeling in there since 2008, since I woke up. Yeah. I had Reiki, I had the third eye thing, everything. I was spinning, everything went purple. I literally woke up then. And since then, my life has just gone boo. And people say, how do you do that? So I don't know. You just have to just go with it. Go with your intuition, go with your instinct. Forget every other friggin' sidetrack, bullshit, pigeonhole, whatever they want you to be in part of. Forget all that. Become an errant. Get a break free. Or die trying. That's an archaic term that Jason says. It's true. If you don't break free, you're going to die trying. Break free from that construct. Whatever it is you're part of, which is holding you back, and you don't agree with it, doesn't feel right for whatever reason, just get out of it. Have the balls or have the boobs to get out of it. Do something. So yeah, start questioning things. That's happening a lot. Now, here's a funny story. When you lose the fear, this was back in 2020. So who remembers back in 2020, you would go to a post office, and this is in England. You went to the post office and you were going to post a parcel to a friend, right? And what was happening? They said, for security, can you tell me what's in the parcel? And do you know what I used to say? I used to say, there's nothing on the restricted items list. Now, you can go onto the Royal Mail website, and sometimes there's posters and things that you can't post in the mail. And then have little pictures like weapons, explosives, stuff like that. So that makes sense. Why would you want to stick an explosive device in the public mailing system, and it could potentially explode and kill people? Of course, I understand it. So when I said there's nothing in this box which is on the restricted items list, and do you know what he said? No, we've been told to ask what's in there. I said, I've told you there's nothing on that list. What is in that box is private. It's no one's business but mine. No, I'm sorry, we can't post it. We need to know what's in it. And I used to stick to my guns. I said, no, I'm telling you, there's nothing on your list. What's in the box is fine. It's absolutely okay to send. I really need to know what's in it. This happened to me. And do you know what I said? I said, what is in this box is a 10-inch black rubber cock. Just to shut her up and make her think. And do you know what she done? She immediately went red. She looked down and she posted the box. All the people in the queue were grinning. I walked out of there with a grin, because sometimes you have to do something creative outside of the box, so to speak. So I said that. It quelled the situation. It done it. That's a true story. When you start losing the fear, you just don't care. You don't give a monkeys. And when you're living in fear, you're stuck. You're not evolving. You're not growing. If you live in fear, you're taking part in the powers that be's program, because they want you in fear. Why? Because it gives us a low energy, and you can be controlled so easily, which is what they want to do. They want to control you by pigeonholing you. As soon as you get put in part of a religion, or part of a genre, a sport, or a club, or a group, okay, oh, that person is him now. He's been labeled as a Christian. He's been labeled as a Jew. He's been labeled as a Muslim. Right, so you're automatically put in someone else's box. Get out of those boxes. Throw the box away and just get outside. When you lose the fear, you won't believe the things that you can do. There's no more excuses, okay? It's your time, it's your energy. You do what you need to do. It's simple as that. And one of the main things that we are seeing now, because it's starting, is people are no longer complying. That's awesome. It's awesome. You can't park there, mate. Why not? Oh, because it's a yellow line. Yeah, but it's not obstructing anywhere. And the only reason there's a yellow line there is because you want me to park somewhere where I have to pay. I don't mind going to a car park which is floodlit and got securities. I don't mind paying, because I'm paying for a service which is securing my vehicle in some way. To park on the road with no lighting, with no cameras, and you want me to bloody pay, you can piss off. I'm not having it. And they say, all right, I'll put a ticket in the car. I say, fine, I'm not paying it. I'm not complying. And do you know what? Back in 2021, the magistrate system in England and Wales was 326,000 court cases behind. So if you think you're going to go to court and go to prison because you didn't pay a parking ticket, guess what? It's going to take a long time to go through. It's crazy. No matter how much AI there is, you still have to go to a doc, birth canal, all of the rest of it with your... Some of you know the straw man stuff. You know, I can go into ages talking about just that, but you go in there, you take part in this system. It's just some bloke wearing some costume. It's all bullshit, okay? And you pay money, you enter a contract. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, people are just not complying no more. And it's amazing to see. Look at what's been going on in London, okay, with the ULEZ thing. So this is, here we go. So basically, there's cameras all over London, and they are reading your number plates. And if you haven't paid to be allowed to drive your vehicle, which you already pay, tax, insurance, MOT, etc., they want you to pay even more money just to be allowed to drive in the city. So these cameras pick up your number plate. If you haven't paid to drive in that city, £12 a day, whatever it was, you were automatically fine. The people were cutting these down. Look, and this has happened so much so that there is no ULEZ system no more, because without cameras, they can't find people. So people are not complying. This is starting, hence the title. I'm going to keep repeating myself. I noticed someone in the chat way before I started saying, what's starting? Well, I'm saying this is starting now. People are growing up, they're waking up, they're not complying, and we are going to see big changes over the next few years, like you wouldn't believe. What about in 2020? This is how crazy people are. Some of you may remember what I'm talking about. There was a guy with a price gun. He got everyone to stand up in line before they got in the supermarket and pointed it at their head and then pretend to look at it and say, yeah, you can go in. And people just automatically fell in line and done it. This is what happens when you allow yourself to be put inside a box. You are not your own errands. You are not your own person who has got a soul, an intuition. You're a creative being and you can do what the friggin' hell you want. We are in this existence. No one has the right to tell us what we can and can't do. We know the difference between right and wrong, unless you're damaged and you're evil like some of the others, okay? People fell for it. Years ago, I was in a fire marshal course, and they showed this video of this waiting room. 4 or 5 people were turning up. They were sitting down, they're waiting for a job interview or something. There was a little air vent in the corner, and very slowly smoke started to come out of it. One person looked over, looked at it, looked around at all the other people. And because no one else noticed or done anything, this guy just carried on reading the paper or looking at his phone. And the smoke was getting worse and worse and worse. He was fully aware that there's a fire. And because he looked around, he didn't know what to do, because he is being brought up, indoctrinated, educated in the indoctrination system to think and act as part of a group. As part of the group, we're in on it. This guy didn't have the balls to act or do anything. Fundamental. In psychology, they call it hive mentality. Look how clever, look how crazy Hitler was. He got so many people on his side using hive mentality, a psychological term. You get a group of people together, the energy spreads, and everyone just starts copying. It's true. If you don't believe me, check it out. I'm not joking. Right. Wow, 1,000 comments. Wow, this isn't. Thank you to Les for this. I'm going to read this out because it's the only way. It's impossible for me to go through 3,000 comments. But these colourful things really stand out. It says, Funky, this is the type of content where you can really be the catalyst for change. I see far too many living in fear and lack. They are correct. Friggin' hell. Absolutely on point. Les, you've nailed it, mate. I'm serious. I would like to do this sort of content because we have preppers, but I want to see aware preppers. There's no point having preppers in the community who are living in fear and they don't believe how powerful they are. We need to up the game now, hence why I wanted to do this video. Incredible. Wow. So that's basically it from me. If you want more videos about stuff like this, let me know, because this is a bit of a new direction. And I'm sorry if you felt offended or upset based on the things that I've said. One of the biggest things which I remember Jason talking about was he was brought up Southern Baptist. So he was seriously a Christian, the Bible, etc. And it wasn't until he went to prison and he started reading the Bible over and over again to realize it was a completely different thing. And he broke out of that. There's parts of him that still fundamentally believe certain things within that book, that reality, that construct. And most of them just saw through it and went, wow. So he broke out of that. So he knows firsthand what it's like and how indoctrinated and how ingrained that mentality is for a lot of people. So if you are a part of one of those things and you feel upset or offended, I apologize. It's not what I intended to do. I was trying to use Jason as an example of someone who's breaking free. I've broke free, Jason's broke free, and I'm pretty sure there's people watching right now who have broken free too. Now we need to attract people into our energetic fields to try and encourage them and inspire them just by talking about the things that I've talked about. and it may unlock their door to let them start their journey of awareness. And it's happening. Like I said, it's starting, and I'm not joking. So everyone who's donated, I really appreciate it. You guys are friggin' awesome. Carl, once again, I've just literally second seen that. I really appreciate that. I'm seriously very, very grateful. I'm glad to pass this information on. It feels natural. All I've done was write down a few bullet points, and I've just let my soul just run with it. And I think we need to see more of this sort of stuff rather than the polished broadcast quality bullshit like Redacted and GB News and all that bullshit. It's bullshit. It's spoon feeding you fear bullshit. We need to up our game, and we are going to have benefactors, and we got nothing to worry about. We're losing the fear. It's all good in the hood. And thanks to my soul partner right there. Yes, it does. It means a lot to us. I really appreciate it. So all of you guys who have helped support the channel, membership's grown and it's awesome. We are going to be upping our game with this sort of stuff, because I feel now is the time that we talked about this, and we are going to continue talking about this. We're not forgetting the prepping stuff. That's always going to be there. This is where we need to be right now during these times. So everyone who's contributed in any way they can, I appreciate it. Everyone who's took part in this live stream, I really appreciate it. If you could share this, oh my God, I can't begin to tell you how important it is for this, especially this live stream. If there was all of the live streams I've ever done, this would be the one which I would love people to share, because we want everyday people to start thinking along these lines. We owe it to ourselves. So you guys are awesome, and I don't want to see any arguments about what to believe. Please don't put your opinions on anyone else. I believe whatever you believe in is a personal, private thing. Keep it to yourself. That's cool. The second you start telling people what to do, it ain't good. So all the moderators, fantastic. Thanks for your support. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to see you on Friday night's live stream. Friday night's live stream is going to be amazing. 8 p.m. UK time this Friday. Come back here. You won't be disappointed. We've got stuff to talk about, which not many are. It's going to be intense. If you thought this was crazy, we're just licking the surface. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Stay funky.